Wait, have you ever
Yeah.
served time?
Yeah.
What for?
I was at a little get together, and the people that I went with didn't tell me, but they decided to fucking rob the house because they were drug dealers and they had like a pound of weed and a bunch of cash. And so when the fight broke out, motherfuckers pulled guns out, and I was like, I guess we gotta fucking go. So we fucking got in my car, left, and a couple days later, the fucking SWAT team came to my house and arrested me, arrested everyone I was with. So
what did they get you for? Was it DWI or something else? Something that happened?
No, it's called accomplice liability. So in the state of Washington, like let's say, Woody, let's say you and I are robbing a bank, right?
Okay.
And then you decide to shoot a bank teller,
right?
Not only will you get murdered, but because I'm your accomplice, I get murdered, even if I had no knowledge you. So like me being with them and just taking them home, and like they treated me like I was like the getaway driver.
Right.
And so I got the same charges as everyone else. So my charges that I finally plead to were robbery in the first, burglary in the first, but mounted into one charge, so it's only one strike, and they gave me 41 months.
Wait,
how much did you serve?
Again?
41 months.
41 months.
Oh, wow. That's more than I expected.
How much did you have to serve?
27.
Damn.
27 months.
What kind of facility were you at?
At first, it was jail for the first 9 months, find the kid.
Oh.
And then after that, I got sent to where they do the selection process of where you're supposed to go. It was really fucked up because they go by points to see what custody level you're at. And I lost points because of my age, lost points because of the violent crime. And because I had 2 violent crimes, they treated the burglary as a previous violent. Those 3 things put me in maximum security. Is maximum
security the worst? It sounds the worst, but on TV they make it sound like you're more isolated from the other people and it's even safer.
Maximum security basically means the least amount of movement. That's the best way to describe it. Where minimum, it's literally like a farm where people just walk around and everything's
like
at night.
Farm. Yeah.
It really
that's
is.
exactly what it is. And that's where I went. It's like a big farm.
And honestly, they'll have a fence that a dog could jump over. And you think wow. But the thing is though, is like everyone that's in there is under 5 years and like a minimum threat, you know? And so like if someone were to escape, they're an idiot because they're getting another 5. So like
you had state charges, right?
Yeah, state charges.
Washington I ended up my charges were federal, so I had to go to this federal low security in Alabama, which was kind of what you're describing. It was pretty. It wasn't that bad.
That was the minimum.
Did you ever go to? Oh, go ahead. Please continue.
Okay, so I get sent to Monroe, and it was super duper nice. So they actually filmed the butterfly effect there. Like, I don't know if you guys remember that movie, but when they were filming the prison scenes, they actually filmed it in the prison with us inmates. Anyways, I got into some trouble when I was in Monroe because I learned how to play pinochle, and I love pinochle. And I was running store, which basically means if you are out of like ramen or hygiene or whatever, you can come to me, and I might give you like 2 ramens, and then you give me 3 back on store. So I was just stacking hella food and hygiene and stuff that I never bought. So when they searched the cell, they're like, "Your book says that you've never bought anything, yet you have like $100 worth of fucking food here, dude. Like, what's the?" And then they found a notebook that had all the bets of all the fucking people because I used to keep tabs of who owes who on the peanut. And so they thought I was running like a fucking gambling racketeering thing.
You were.
They only thought that because of the gaming racketeering.
So they knew what I was doing at that point.
Shut up. But yeah, you got it. Okay. So then they sent me over to Walla Walla. And now Walla Walla is like super hardcore. 4-man cells. Majority of people are in there for murder. Lifers. Like and it's very, very racist. You can't be in a cell with I could be in a cell with a black dude. And the way they do it is they go, okay, we have Northanios, we got Italians, we got fucking Muslims, black dudes, and they alternate them through the cells so that no two like groups can be like next to each other because they're afraid we're gonna like convene and mob up or something.
Concentration of power.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. So I talked to the lady, the consultation lady or whatever. She's like, all right, look at your file. If you behave yourself for 6 months, I'll send you wherever you want to go. Do you want to go to McNeil Island?
Home.
And I'm like, well, yeah.
How about Vegas?
Yeah. And so they go, you can go to any medium security place that you want to go. And I'm like, all right, I want to go back to Monroe because Monroe had the maximum, medium, and minimum. And the lady looked at me crazy, and I'm why? She's like, are you sure you want to go to Monroe? And I'm like, yeah, it looks fucking amazing. There's like grass. There's recording studios in the fucking gyms. Like it's like the nicest place. It's considered the nicest prison in the state of Washington. And she's like, all right, I get it. I'm like, why is she acting all weird? So then I go back to the cell, and all my fucking cellmates who are like fucking like one of them was this 6'5", 380 bodybuilder dude. And with a fucking tattoo that said 13.5 on his neck, which means he had like 12 jurors, 1 judge, and half a and like
wait, I didn't hear those words. 12 jurors, 1 judge, and half a chance.
Oh,
okay.
And so I get back to the cell and I'm like all happy. And so I'm like, going to Twin River. And then they said, what? And I'm like,
fuck no, man, that was scary.
What is the fucking problem with Twin Rivers, dude? And they're like, let me see your paperwork again. So I like fucking pull up my paperwork, they read it. They're like, why the fuck would you want to go to Twin Rivers? I'm like, it's near my family, they can visit, and it's like the nicest. And they're like, do you know what Twin Rivers is? I'm like, no. They go, it's the sex offender treatment program. And I'm like, what? And they go, yeah, it's 80% sex offender, and they have to have 20% regular inmates to keep state. And I'm like, are you fucking serious? Because normally sex offenders don't walk around. Like, we find out you're a sex offender, dude, you got to be gone by, you know what I mean? They don't play around.
Can you
with
say
sex
those words
offenders.
again? You got to be what?
Gone.
You got to be gone. Like, you need to be not here anymore. Like, PC up and get the fuck out of here. We don't want to share meals with people that are like kid fuckers. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
They don't like sex offenders in jails. So I'm just like, okay, well, let's see what happens. Dude, I get there. It's an amazing facility, but like, it's literally like that movie They Live. He has the glasses and he sees everyone is like, you know, because like, yeah, everyone there was a fucking weirdo, and there was like, you had to like find like a couple cool dudes that weren't sex offenders just to fucking group up and be like, oh, I got your back. Okay, cool, dude. These guys are weird.
So how long were you in the sex offender paradise?
I was there for 7 months.
Oh, no.
That's so long to spend there.
Oh, listen to this, dude. So Monroe's on a hill, right? And for whatever reason, they decided to put the maximum, medium, and minimum on the hill. And then they decided to put the high school, middle school, elementary school on the same fucking. And so from the bleachers, these sex offenders would be at yard watching kids play at recess. And I'm just like, someone needs to know about this. Like, what the fuck? And so I asked my buddy, I'm like, do you know about this? He's like, yeah, of course everyone knows about it. I'm like, why doesn't anybody like call the news? They're like, we've tried. They don't report. Like, no one says shit. Wait. And I'm like, you're telling me what's
no, I the sex offender paradise. Look, if you could just overlook the whole sex offender thing, seems like the best prison or jail I've heard about so far. Right? It's amazing. Right? All the people are like, they might be violent in a way, but not towards me. Right? It seems like that. Like, I would be safe there. I would be not bothered there.
You'd fit right in. I know what you're saying,
right? Right? Like,
I'm a bit of a pedophile myself.
Yeah, thank you.
He's like that Steve Buscemi meme with the skateboard. Right. Hello, fellow rapist.
I just feel like if you can overlook what dreadful people they are, then it's a safe, pleasant place with apparently good views.
As far as like prison violence goes, it only happens if motherfuckers want it to happen. Okay, like it's not like people are like, oh, you bumped my shoulder, let's throw down. You know what I mean? So like all this shit in movies where they think shit's just popping off left and right, it's not. It's like I literally went to the worst place, and that's where everyone. I actually like that better. Okay, let's say your buddy that lives downtown owes you $20, right? All he has to do is just avoid running into. In there, we can't avoid each other, so everyone has to keep their fucking word. So everyone's fucking honest. It's amazing. Like most stand-up people ever, dude. I actually like those people better than like people out here who think they can get away with anything.
I met some really decent, good people when I was in prison. Like legitimately. Like now there were some scary motherfuckers. But like even Snow, like despite the fact that Snow had murdered people and trafficked huge amounts of methamphetamine and was in a Mexican drug gang, like he was a stand-up guy. Like his word meant something. Like you would not catch Snow telling you a lie. He'll murder, but he won't fucking lie and he won't fucking steal.
And he won't do anything. He won't do anything civilian. You know what I mean? Like if he does do something to someone that's like in the game, you know?
Yeah, that's how a lot of them saw that, and so that was interesting. The worst part about your experience to me is the 9 months in jail, though. That had to be shit, right?
Okay. At first, I felt like when I got out, right, I honestly used to tell people, I was like, the 9 months in jail stressing about my fucking case was worse than the rest of the time where I'm pretty much on vacation.
Yeah.
Okay. When you do time, it doesn't really, because you don't have a job, they feed you, you're never going to go cold. It's a vacation in a way. You just can't leave the premise. The people that are affected are your family that miss you for whatever reason, you know? What the fuck was I just about to say?
How bad jail was in comparison.
Oh, jail was horrible, dude. Jail sucked. Like, I feel like jail is meant for like a week, not for 9 months.
Yeah, everyone exactly. You could get bond.
Oh my dude. All right, this is the list that my original filing charges: robbery in the first with a firearm, burglary in the first with a firearm, kidnapping in the first with a firearm, assault in the first with a firearm, and then like firearm possession.
Where'd the kidnapping come from?
Because he wouldn't let them leave the premises.
Yeah, one of the people basically said, "Don't move." You know what I mean?
Oh, okay.
Or like
that's how they got OJ.
Yeah,
that's okay.
Now about meeting interesting people in there, I met the most interesting person ever. His name was Steve Drexler. Okay, now when I'm at the sex offender paradise place, you had your own cell, which was amazing, but you also had a bunk bed. I usually just kept stuff up there, like, you know, just stuff up there. But every once in a while, they'll transport somebody that will stay there overnight and then get released in the morning, you know? Like they might be over all the way in Eastern Washington, but need to be released in Western Washington. So they'll bring them over, have them stay one night above my bunk and leave. So I'm sitting there and I'm talking to him. And at first he didn't really want to talk to me. And I'm offering him cigarettes. I'm offering him fucking food. He was all standing up. And then I realized, I was like, hey, dude, I'm not a sex offender, bro. I'm in here for fucking home invasion robbery. And then I showed him my paperwork. He's like, oh, okay, cool. I just thought everyone here was a fucking rapist. I'm like, no, we're not. And so.
Common misconception.
When you're in a cell with a dude with nothing else, you're going to have fucking conversation, shooting back and forth. So finally, I ended up telling him what I was in there for, the whole story. And so finally, I asked him. I was like, "So, man, what's your story, dude? Like, what brought you here? What brought you to?" And at first, he wouldn't do it. And I kept on egging him on, and he finally told me, and it's probably my favorite story of all time. All right, so this dude ran the Boeing IMAX, okay, in downtown Seattle. Now, this is an actual stadium IMAX theater. This isn't some AMC shit, okay? This is like a stadium, massive, huge IMAX, right? Well, this dude also had a bit of a meth problem, and so he would work during the day, smoke all night, and then come to work and work during the day and do this a week and a half, and then finally crash. Well, this dude figured out he stole a laptop and was able to plug it into the projector and watch whatever he wanted to watch on the IMAX thing. So this dude decided to start watching porn.
I knew it.
Started watching porn in the IMAX, dude. Now, I don't know how amazing that must be because I'm a big fan of porn. And porn on a phone versus porn on a 65 is mine. So if I can watch some porn on a fucking IMAX screen, I'm down, right? So this dude literally draped like the longest cable ever from the projector room all the way down to like the middle rows of the, so he could plug his laptop in and fucking pull up porn on the IMAX, dude. Sounds amazing, right? So this dude would smoke meth, watch porn, and jerk off, and then like smoke meth and get some more Lennox pencil and keep going, right?
Well, and he's smoking meth, and so he's beating off for hours at a time.
For hours, right? So then this dude decided that he would go get like double the and find like a prostitute. Be like, listen, I'm not going to pay you, but I got free meth. And they're like, okay. So they would bring these prostitutes.
This guy rocks.
He would bring prostitutes into the IMAX after hours, would fire up a porn without telling the girl. She'd be like, whoa, huge. And they would smoke meth and fuck and watch porn. And he had this fucking ritual where he was just doing this. And during the day, he was fucking Clark Kent, like very presentable. Here's your ticket, ma'am. Like everything. But at night, he was the monster. Okay. Well,
cool guy of the week so far.
He'd been going too hard for too long. Brought this prostitute over. They smoked. They fucked. And this dude passed the fuck out and was not waking up. So the girl's like, hey, wake up. And he's done for. Like his bender is over, right? And so she tries to leave and the fucking alarm system goes off. So now the police come into the fucking theater and there's like a fucking gangbang fucking theater at full fucking THX sound quality, and this prostitute with this guy with a meth pipe or whatever and a cord going from the laptop all the way up to the projection room.
Red-handed.
Literally red-handed. Pants around his fucking knees, laying, reclining in a chair. And I'm like, I would have loved to be the cop to fucking come to that scene. That would have been amazing. So he got fucking arrested. He had some priors, so he got some weird charge that they gave him a year and a day. The only reason why they give you a year and a day is so that you don't spend the rest of your time in jail, that they have to send you to prison. So he only had to spend, he had his case, and then he only had to spend like maybe 4, did his time, and he was getting out the next day. And I was like, yeah, your story beats mine, dude. That is, you're my hero. Like, that is awesome.
That's fucking outrageous.
It's an awesome story. Yeah, I mean, I feel like,
dude, you know how long I've been
there to bust him, I'd have been like, you know what, this guy's had a tough enough night.
Here's the thing, dude. Back in the day when I used to come on your guys' show, I used to do commentaries. I never told anybody about me being in, like, because I thought it would be like a bad look. You know what I mean? Like, I never wanted to bring it up. You know?
Wouldn't want
but
that.
Now that it's been like 10 years of me in the game, and, you know, if you Google ONLYUSemeBLADE, it doesn't look good. I just said, fuck it, I'll share. You know what I mean?
What were you, what got you in the hole? And how long were you in there? Like, why'd they put you in there?
Fuck it. I'm telling the story. The
Please battery last.
I love Pinochle. I was playing Pinochle, and this guy named Sylvia
For people who don't know, real quick, can you explain Pinochle? Just in the
Pinochle is the greatest card game ever made.
Some people don't know.
Who doesn't know what Pinochle is?
It only consists of face cards, so there's no number, and there's like multiple there's 4 Jack of Diamonds, 4 Queen of Spades, and so there's 80 cards in a deck. You deal them out, and you play it just like the game Spade, where you lead suit and you try to take books. There's a lot more to it than that, but that's all I can really explain it to give you a simple gist of it. I love the game. I play it on my phone. I've almost made it to old folks' homes where they were playing it because I wanted, like, those are the only people that play it, and fucking old people, like at old folks. They wouldn't let me in. So it was the most awkward conversation because I was, so who are you here to visit? I'm like, no one. I was just seeing if there's any action at the Pinochle table. And they're like,
sir, this is not a casino. It's a retirement community.
And I'm like, can I go in there and visit the old people? They're like, no, you can't. Like, you don't let just like nice people come in and say hi to the old folks. They would love that. They're like, no,
sir, you smell so strongly about that. Yeah, that fucking Gary's got his teeth on the table. It's getting real.
You've got a cooler.
Dolores is getting your medication. Bitch will have a seizure if she loses this hand.
Blaine, those medications are for the patients.
No, Bjorn can't come in with you.
You can't have the morphine.
No, that's hilarious. So anyway, good.
So I love Pinochle, and this dude this new inmate comes in and wants to play, and I could tell he's a degenerate gambler, and you don't get your money on your books the first week you're there. So I know I'm gonna have to wait a week, but I say fuck. So we play a couple games. Like, you're only playing like $1 a game, right? So I play a couple games, and I realize he's getting frustrated. So I fucking tell my partner, I was like, hey dude, throw this game. Like, don't try to win at all. I'll fuck up, just go with it. So we play the game. I gave him so many opportunities to win, and he's fucking up, but eventually I literally reneged and set myself and like gave him the next thing. He won. He was ecstatic. He was like, I knew I could beat you, you bitch. I'm like, all right, dude, calm the fuck down. You want to play again? Like, I was kind of mad because I was like, I let you win, dude. Like, if you only knew that I let you win to string you along, but you're cocky thinking you fucking won the World Series here, dude. Like, stop it. So over the course of a week, I got him to where he owed me like $50. So I let him start playing $10 hands or $10 games, which is unheard of, to give him a chance to win back. I let him win one here and there. He owed me $300.
300, you said.
Wow.
300. So the way, when you get someone in that kind of debt in there, you can only order $50 worth of store at a time. So I go, all right, dude, I'm going to get like $35 worth of stuff for me. You can get a little bit of food and some hygiene. Don't want you picking up a tier. And then just do that 3 times. So 35, what was that? That would be like 105.
Yeah.
Whatever.
You can do it.
Anyway.
Go ahead.
Okay, I know. It's 105.
It's 105.
Okay?
Yeah.
Okay. Anyways, you guys are at.
No, that's a joke I make every week, the whole incalculable thing. Don't take it personally.
Okay. And so the day that I'm supposed to get store, I'm like, hey guys, I go, hey man, we're gonna go to Mainline, which is like where you go get your food. I'm gonna go to Mainline. When I get back, just have my stuff ready in a bag. I'll walk by your cell. You can just toss it to me. He's like, yeah, whatever, dude. And I'm just like, okay, that's not the response I want, but okay. Go to main line, come up to his cell. I'm like, all right, dude, let me get that. And he's like, fuck you, wop. Which is like basically like the N word for Italian people. If this would have happened on the streets, I would have been like, whatever, dude. But this is prison where if you let someone talk to you like that and don't do anything, everyone's going to think you're a bitch. It's prison mentality. So I went in there and I started piecing them in. Started beating on them real quick.
With just empty fists?
Yeah.
Okay.
You know.
Well, this is a thing to me, like stabbing, but yeah, I got confused.
You're masturbating him furiously.
So I go in there and I got him coming, right?
He's coming hard.
So,
and I say that's another 30.
Of course, the tier is like yelling and screaming, and the fucking riot shield guards come in, pin us, and take us to the hole.
Okay.
Did he ever pay
Now,
you?
no, because that's when they transferred me to wall to wall. Now, one thing I will say, and this will give you a time frame, when they took me to Shelton, I was in the hole for 36 days. Okay? When they took me to Shelton, it was the first time I listened to music. And they played I Like the Way You Move by Outkast and Jamie Foxx and Twista, like slow jam. Those were like popular on the radio at the time. And I never heard the songs, but listening to music for the first time after fucking 30 days, dude, I got goosebumps, dude. This is amazing.
So
like, imagine not listening. Go ahead.
I've been watching that show 60 Days In, and season 6. And quickly, for anyone who doesn't know for some reason, they put undercover people in a jail, like a hardcore jail, to try to root out drugs, contraband, and see how well the COs do their job. Well, anyway, one of the participants, someone who is undercover, loans this guy 3 packets of grits because the man is hungry. And he says, you owe me 3 soups. And the guy's like, cool, I'll get you tomorrow. Tomorrow comes around. My girl's messing with my money. She won't put any money on my books. I can't get you your soups. He's like, you're going to pay me. And he's like, I'll pay you. Next day comes. I don't got nothing, man. I got nothing. He's like, all right. Take off your shirt, your pants, your flip-flops, and give me your fucking towel. Yeah, give me your fucking towel. And he takes all of these things from them. He is the undercover. And he has taken all of this man's clothing and his towel, which is a commodity in prison, by the way. Your towel is... We had 3 towels, and you could pay money to get a special towel. But this seemed like his only fucking towel in jail. He then takes this man's flip-flops, pants, shirt, and towel and gives it away to his buddies, and they're all laughing about it. The guy went into PC.
Yeah.
He went protective custody after that. He feared for his life. Yes.
Hey, Kyle.
What an asshole.
I have to slide this in, okay? So in Washington, you can get a care package up to 15 pounds. Okay. You can get Roberto meat sent in. You can get books sent in, or you can have your family sending, but only once, like basically 4 times a year. Some dude had a beef with some other dude and had his girl send him 1 pair of socks in his package, and that was the only package you can get for 3 months. It was just a pair of socks. Fucked him over. So meanwhile, his family put together a fucking care package, and he's on the phone like, why'd you deny the care package? He's like, I would have never denied that. It's this fucking asshole sending me a pair of socks, and I signed for it not realizing it. That's fucked up.
Yeah, that's super fucked up. We could get whatever we wanted anytime we wanted, like sent in. I mean, they would go through it. They read your letter.
Of course.
They scan it, drug dog on it and all that. But I had people send me books. So like Chiz sent me a bunch of books. Kitty sent me a bunch of books. And I read like voraciously. I went through Stephen King's got, I'm not going to say I went through half the Stephen King catalog, because that would,
Did
you
read the 4 novella story thing, the different seasons?
The what now?
Or novella?
The different, it's called Different Seasons. Where it's 4 not short stories, but the novella is basically not long enough for a book, short enough to be a short story.
I I read The Mist.
The Shawshank Redemption, Apt Pupil, and Stand By Me all made movies from that.
Okay. No, I read 11/22/63, The Mist, It, a good bit of The Stand. I was working on It when I got released, and I didn't go back to it. It was crazy long. The book It, and there were some others. I read a little bit of The Gunslinger.
Do you ever get pissed at Stephen King when he spends 30 pages describing a dude's arm?
Yes.
It's like, come on, dude, let's keep this moving.
Oh my! In 11/22/63, he was describing some guy who had diarrhea, and it was like 40 minutes of. I listened to an audiobook, so it must have been like 40 minutes spent on how his stomach was upset.
To me, because I was, literally trying to kill time, sitting on my fucking bunk in prison. Take your time. We got nothing but it. So like I didn't mind. I just try to do, I try to let my mind paint the picture that he's describing, and it becomes a little bit more visceral for me. So I didn't mind. If I were listening to an audiobook, I could definitely understand that, especially you, because you're listening to it while you do stuff, and you're like wanting a hop along kind of story, and he don't do that too much.
It's a little easier to follow when things are happening. Like you zone out and you could be like, "Wait, we're still on the diarrhea for real?"
Yeah.
He had to buy incontinence pants, which I guess are big diapers, and there was this long story about how the guy behind the cash register reacted to the incontinence pants, and I'm like, "Oh my
I had
goodness.
no problem with any of that.
Send me a link to those.